Welcome back to the channel, racing fans. Today we dive into one of the most debated dream matchups in horse racing history, Secretariat versus Frankel. Two legendary champions, separated by decades and continents, yet both defined by unparalleled brilliance. Who truly stands above the rest? Over the next few minutes, we'll break down their careers point by point, comparing the American Triple Crown icon Secretariat with the undefeated European superstar Frankel. Plus, we'll explore who faced tougher competition and who might win if these titans raced head-to-head. Let's dive in. At number 1, we have two racing legends forged in vastly different eras and landscapes. On one hand, Secretariat, the American Thunderbolt, affectionately known as Big Red, was foaled in 1970 in Virginia, USA. With his blazing chestnut coat and commanding presence, he symbolized the very soul of American thoroughbred racing. Trained by Lucien Laurin and owned by the determined Penny Chenery, Secretariat's origin story is one of grit, tradition, and national pride. His public ownership and striking charisma made him a household name, a true cultural phenomenon during the golden age of U.S. horse racing. Contrast this with Frankel, who burst onto the scene in 2008 from the hallowed grounds of Banstead Manor Stud in Suffolk, England. This powerful bay colt, owned and bred by Juddmonte Farms under Prince Khalid Abdullah's direction, was sculpted by the legendary Sir Henry Cecil. Frankel embodied the precision and elegance of European turf breeding, a horse of class and royal bloodlines who never left the UK circuit. Where Secretariat was bred for glory in America's dirt arenas, Frankel was molded for dominance on the lush turf tracks of Britain. The difference in their upbringings, public versus private ownership, dirt versus turf, American dynamism versus European finesse, sets the foundation for a clash of titans. This isn't just about two horses. It's about two philosophies of racing. Secretariat's rugged, all-American narrative stands in contrast to Frankel's aristocratic British storyline, yet both reach the pinnacle of their sport through contrasting paths. Their breeding farms, Meadow Stud versus Juddmonte, represent distinct global powerhouses. This clash of cultural identity, racing ideology, and generational prestige creates an electrifying backdrop for any comparison. From their trainers to their terrains, every element of their stories feeds into a broader rivalry that goes beyond time and geography. At number 2, the spotlight turns to the careers that carved their names into racing immortality. Secretariat, racing from 1972 to 1973, had a meteoric journey, 21 starts in just 16 months. He captured victory in 16 of those, delivering explosive wins in America's premier dirt races. His triumphs were not just about quantity, but the quality of competition he faced, often under grueling schedules. Despite 3 second-place finishes and 1/3, his nearly 76% win rate is astonishing, given the caliber of rivals and the physical toll of such a condensed campaign. What made Secretariat even more special was his ability to bounce back from adversity, like his defeat in the Wood Memorial, only to obliterate records in the Kentucky Derby and Belmont Stakes. Now contrast that with Frankel, whose 3-year career from 2010 to 2012 was a masterclass in perfection. 14 races, 14 wins, a pristine 100% win rate. He didn't just beat rivals, he dominated them, often by daylight margins. Frankel was never headed, never bested, and never even seriously challenged. This flawless slate places him among the rarest of equine elites. His victories, primarily between 7 furlongs and 1 mile 2.5 furlongs, displayed tactical speed and a relentless cruising power on turf. Managed meticulously by Sir Henry Cecil, his career was designed not for volume, but for impact. Secretariat dazzled with his resilience. Frankel awed with his invincibility. One represented bold, relentless competition in the dirt cauldron of America. The other showcased unyielding control and supremacy across Europe's grassy cathedrals. Comparing these records reveals a striking contrast. Secretariat, the battle-hardened warrior with epic highs and historic moments, versus Frankel, the untouchable phenom who never let fate get a second chance. Secretariat's schedule tested durability and heart. Frankel's campaign exemplified clinical dominance and optimal planning. This juxtaposition makes their rivalry endlessly debatable. At number 3, we enter the realm of unforgettable victories and unbreakable records, where Secretariat and Frankel carved their names into the sport's pantheon. Secretariat's 1973 U.S. Triple Crown campaign remains the ultimate benchmark in American racing. He didn't just win, he rewrote history. His Kentucky Derby victory clocked at an astonishing 159 2/5, shattered expectations and still stands unchallenged over 5 decades later. His Preakness Stakes triumph, after much debate, was officially recognized at 153, a race that saw him explode around the clubhouse turn like a missile. But it was the Belmont Stakes where Secretariat achieved racing immortality, winning by an unfathomable 31 lengths and stopping the clock at 2:24 flat. For 1/2 miles on dirt, he set a world record that remains untouched, often considered the single greatest performance in horse racing history. He was more than just a dirt dominator. He proved versatile by capturing the Mano High, War Stakes on turf in record time, and securing the Hopeful Stakes as a juvenile, showcasing all-surface brilliance. In contrast, Frankel's resume sparkles with undefeated excellence across Europe's elite Group 1 stage. From his explosive win in the Dewhurst Stakes as a 2-year-old, to a jaw-dropping 6-length dismantling in the 2000 Guineas, Frankel stamped his authority early and never let go. His Queen Anne Stakes win by 11 lengths at Royal Ascot is considered one of the most dominant performances in modern turf racing. He conquered the Sussex Stakes twice, destroyed Canford Cliffs, humbled Celebration repeatedly, and moved up in distance with ease, winning the Juddmonte International and Champion Stakes in style. Though he didn't set track records like Secretariat, he amassed 10 Group 1 wins and achieved the highest time form rating ever, 147, reflecting unparalleled consistency and class. The comparison pits Secretariat's earth-shaking records and singular Triple Crown feat against Frankel's seamless perfection and statistical supremacy. Secretariat gave the world racing's most iconic moments. Frankel gave it faultless execution. Whether you value record-shattering brilliance or sustained flawless dominance, both horses delivered signature victories that transcended their time and defined what it means to be truly legendary. At number 4, we explore the competitive landscapes that defined Secretariat and Frankel's legacies. The measure of a true champion lies not only in how they win, but whom they beat. Secretariat faced a series of formidable opponents, none more so than Sham. Sham was an elite colt in his own right. He ran the fastest Derby ever by a horse not named Secretariat, finishing just behind the champion with a time that would have won nearly any other year. In the Preakness, Sham again chased Secretariat home in record-breaking style. Then came the Belmont, where Secretariat turned the rivalry into a one-horse race. But it wasn't just Sham. Secretariat defeated Riva Ridge, the previous year's Kentucky Derby and Belmont winner, as well as Forgo, a future 3-time Horse of the Year and all-time great, albeit early in Forgo's career. Add to that victories over top-tier horses like Cougar 2, Tentem, and Key to the Mint, and you have a resume filled with clashes against genuine Hall of Fame talent. Frankel, meanwhile, didn't just beat good horses, he routinely dismantled Europe's very best. His main rival, Celebration, was a world-class miler who captured 3 Group 1s, yet he was consistently made to look second-rate by Frankel, finishing runner-up 4 times. Frankel also took down Canford Cliffs, a 5-time Group 1 winner and former champion miler, in dominant fashion, forcing his retirement. When Frankel stretched out in distance, he beat Cerastus Eagles, one of Europe's most durable and successful middle-distance campaigners, proving his superiority beyond a mile. Critics may argue that Frankel faced familiar foes repeatedly, but those foes were multiple Group 1 winners, and Frankel never faltered. Secretariat fought off champions in high-pressure, fast-paced dirt classics. Frankel faced polished turf specialists on Europe's grandest stages. While different in nature, both horses answered every challenge against the best their continents had to offer. Secretariat conquered legendary rivals en route to breaking history. Frankel effortlessly crushed champions with mechanical efficiency. Each horse faced elite opposition in his own environment and emerged untouched at the top, leaving no doubt they were head and shoulders above their era's competition. At number 5, we dive into the data, those elusive numbers that attempt to quantify greatness. The challenge? Different continents, different systems, and different eras. Secretariat's career predates the formal introduction of Bayer speed figures, but that hasn't stopped analysts from trying to measure his brilliance. Andrew Bayer himself estimated Secretariat's otherworldly Belmont Stakes performance at a 139, a number so stratospheric it still stands as one of the highest theoretical figures ever assigned. This was no ordinary race. Secretariat's 2:24 for 1/2 miles remains a world record on dirt, set while annihilating his rivals by 31 lengths. While speculative timeform style calculations place him potentially above 150, these aren't official. Still, when a stopwatch delivers such a historic historic and unmatched number, it speaks louder than theory. Frankel, by contrast, does have the figures: official, documented, and historic. His time form rating of 147, achieved after his breathtaking 11-length demolition in the Queen Anne Stakes, is the highest ever awarded to a flat racehorse in the system's history. And he wasn't a one-hit wonder. Frankel consistently ran in the high 130s and 140s throughout his career. Timeform doesn't just look at times. It evaluates dominance, context, and the caliber of opposition. Frankel hit the highest statistical peak the European turf has ever seen, and he stayed near it with unwavering regularity. The comparison pits Secretariat's unparalleled real-world clock-breaking feats against Frankel's official numerical dominance. Secretariat broke records that stand to this day. Frankel broke rating scales never reached before. One shattered the stopwatch, the other rewrote the record books and data. Different systems, but the same conclusion. Both horses operated on a level almost unimaginable. At number 6, we explore the pillars of durability and adaptability, traits that often separate the great from the legendary. Frankel's record here is pristine. 14 starts, 14 wins. The perfect career. No blemishes, no off days. He raced from 2 to 4 years old, delivering dominant performances every single time. While he raced solely on turf, he wasn't a one-trick pony. Starting as a front-running mile specialist, Frankel evolved into a tactical, distance-capable champion. He conquered 10-furlong races like the Juddmonte International and Champions Stakes with ease, answering any questions about his stamina. He thrived on a range of turf conditions and could control a race from the front or unleash a devastating late kick. Frankel was a machine on grass, unbeatable, unflappable, and unrelenting. Secretariat, while not undefeated, delivered near-perfect consistency. 21 starts, 16 wins. Never worse than third except once, and that under peculiar circumstances. He raced over dirt, turf, fast tracks, and slop. Always competitive, often dominant. He set or equaled records from a mile to 1.5 miles and won major races on both surfaces. His turf victories in the Man o' War and Canadian International proved his adaptability against international fields. Few champions have ever looked as comfortable switching surfaces and distances at the top level as Secretariat did. The verdict? Frankel's consistency is unrivaled. He never lost. But Secretariat's versatility is broader. He was as effective on turf as on dirt, as fast at a mile as at a mile and a half. Frankel was the model of perfection in a specific sphere. Secretariat was the all-terrain, all-distance juggernaut. One never faltered. The other dared everything and nearly never missed. Number 7. Bloodlines and breeding. Legacy as a sire or broodmare sire. Race records fade, but bloodlines endure. And here, both Secretariat and Frankel have made lasting impacts, albeit through different avenues. Secretariat's stud career was watched with enormous anticipation, and while he didn't consistently sire racehorses equal to his own freakish ability, his influence turned out to be far more profound than initially realized. Direct offspring like Lady Secret, Horse of the Year, and Risen Star, Preakness and Belmont winner, prove he could produce top-tier talent. But Secretariat's true power came through his daughters. As a broodmare sire, he was elite. His daughters produced AP Indy, Stormcat, Summer Squall, and Gone West, each of whom became cornerstone sires themselves. Through them, Secretariat's DNA flows through the pedigrees of champions like American Pharaoh, Justify, and many modern-day titans. His legacy is interwoven into the genetic fabric of North American bloodstock. While his male line influence waned, his name echoes powerfully through the maternal lines of breeding empires. Frankel, by contrast, has exploded as a direct sire in record time. He didn't need a generation to show his impact. From Cracksman to Adayar, Hurricane Lane to Inspiral, and Alpinista, Frankel has sired top-level winners across distances, countries, and surfaces. He became a champion sire in short order, topping charts and commanding one of the world's highest stud fees. Perhaps more impressively, his sons are already proving themselves in the stallion shed, indicating the start of a potentially powerful sire line. Unlike many elite racehorses who underwhelm in breeding, Frankel has passed on his brilliance with startling consistency. Conclusion: Secretariat changed the breed, especially in North America through his daughters. Frankel is changing it now, directly, with his sons and daughters winning on the biggest stages. Secretariat is a foundational pillar in pedigrees. Frankel is the modern blueprint. In terms of direct sire success, Frankel takes the edge, but Secretariat's long-term genetic legacy, particularly through the female line, remains historically significant and culturally entrenched. This one's a split decision: foundational influence versus fast-track dominance. Number 8. Cultural impact. Some horses race, others inspire. Secretariat belongs firmly in the latter. In 1973, Secretariat was more than a racehorse. He was a national symbol. Amid political unrest and post-war fatigue, his Triple Crown run brought America together. His Belmont win wasn't just athletic, it was mythic. A 31-length masterpiece immortalized in sports history. He appeared on the covers of Time, Newsweek, and Sports Illustrated in the same week. His life became the subject of books, documentaries, and eventually a Disney feature film. Decades later, he's still referenced in pop culture, still invoked when anyone reaches new heights in any sport. His image, blazing down the Belmont stretch, is a living metaphor for excellence. Frankel's cultural reach was narrower, but no less powerful within its sphere. In Britain and the global racing community, Frankel was treated like royalty. Fans flocked to tracks to witness his perfection. His relationship with the terminally ill Sir Henry Cecil gave his story a poignant, emotional resonance that elevated every race. He didn't just win, he connected, bringing out raw emotion in fans and pundits alike. While he hasn't yet transcended into mass-market pop culture the way Secretariat has, he became a modern icon in a sport desperately needing one. The adulation from racing enthusiasts, breeders, and the royal family alike speaks to the depth of his impact. At number 9, awards and honors offer vital insights into their standing among legends. Secretariat's trophy cabinet gleams with prestigious accolades, including the rare feat of being named American Horse of the Year twice. First, as a 2-year-old in 1972, a testament to his precocity. And again, in 1973, following his legendary Triple Crown triumph. He clinched Eclipse Awards as Champion 2-year-old male, Champion 3-year-old male, and even Champion Turf male in 1973, highlighting his remarkable adaptability across surfaces. His swift induction into the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame in 1974 cemented his historical status. Across the Atlantic, Frankel mirrors this dominance through his double Cartier Horse of the Year wins in 2011 and 2012, a distinction shared only with the elite mare Ouija board. He also swept his division titles, including Champion 2-year-old Colt 2010, Champion 3-year-old Colt 2011, and Champion Older Horse 2012, illustrating consistent superiority through every stage of his unbeaten career. Frankel's place in the QIPCO British Champion Series Hall of Fame as one of its first inductees recognizes his unrivaled brilliance on European turf. Both champions claimed top honors in their respective hemispheres, representing sustained excellence acknowledged by peers and press alike. Secretariat's versatility across age and surface was rewarded with broad-spectrum titles, while Frankel's immaculate dominance was sealed with continental acclaim. Though separated by decades and oceans, their parallel honor rolls underline how both horses were not only dominant competitors, but also undisputed icons in the official annals of racing history. Their accolades are more than trophies. They are affirmations of lasting greatness. And now at number 10, we dive into the most exhilarating and debated scenario in all of horse racing lore, the hypothetical head-to-head showdown. Imagine Secretariat, the American juggernaut of the 1970s, squaring off against Frankel, the undefeated European titan of the 2010s. On dirt over 1¼ miles, Secretariat holds the upper hand. His record-breaking performances at this distance, especially his 1973 Kentucky Derby and Preakness, showcased unmatched stamina fused with punishing acceleration, an ideal formula for classic American dirt conditions. Frankel, untested on dirt, would face a foreign battleground. Is turf-tuned stride potentially compromised? Shift the scene to turf in a flat mile, and the script flips. Frankel's explosive cruising speed and supreme finishing kick made him invincible at this trip. His best victories came with ease against Europe's finest milers on grass tailored to his style. Secretariat showed flashes of brilliance on turf, but never against the quality or intensity Frankel faced regularly. For fairness, set the race at 1/4 miles on turf, neutral territory. Even then, Frankel's comfort on the surface gives him a slight edge, though Secretariat's sheer power and relentless drive would ensure a thrilling duel. Against today's champions, both remain top tier. Secretariat's dirt records remain untouchable, despite modern advancements in training, while Frankel's time form rating of 147 remains the benchmark for turf superiority. Horses like Flightline, Equinox, and Baid may dazzle in this era, but neither Secretariat nor Frankel would merely keep up. They would dominate. This fantasy clash is less about identifying a winner and more about appreciating two different breeds of greatness. One represented American heart, power, and cultural resonance. The other embodied European precision, elegance, and technical brilliance. Together, they form a dual narrative of excellence that spans generations, continents, and racing philosophies. That's our take on this legendary matchup. What do you think? Who wins in your dream race? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of horse racing. Thanks for watching.